President Bola Ahmed Tinubu promised to give priority attention to health and safety of Nigerians. Kano State Governor appointed his nephew as Executive Secretary of the State History and Culture Bureau. Somali government sacks head of army. Today is Tuesday, 2nd of Zulhijjah, 1444 after the Hijrah of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, which is equivalent to 28th of June 2023. I'm Khadija Nolemi with the news info. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has promised to give priority attention to the health and safety of Nigerians. The president made the promise yesterday when he received in audience the co-founder of Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Mr. Bill Gates, and the president of Aliko Dangote Foundation, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, at the presidential villa, Abuja. The president, in a statement by his spokesman, Dele Alake, said his administration will do all that was required to make their work in Nigeria and Africa successful, particularly in the area of eradicating polio, measles, malaria, and other diseases from the continent. Tinubu commended Bill Gates' effort in the area of climate change and in eradicating polio and malaria from Africa. In his remarks, Dangote congratulated Tinubu on his election and the successful assumption of office. He said the visit to the villa was to brief the president on the activities of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and Aliko Dangote Foundation, highlighting their commitment to improving the health sector in Nigeria. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has called for stronger and better cooperation with the United States as Nigeria and the rest of the world move in the quest for renewable and other sources of clean energy. He spoke during a meeting with the United States Assistant Secretary of State, Bureau of Energy Resources, Ambassador Jeffrey Pate, yesterday at the State House, Abuja. President Tinubu, in a statement by his spokesman, Dele Alake, presented his own perspectives to the United States delegation on the role of Nigeria as an oil-producing country and the importance of revenue from fossil oil to national economic well-being. According to the president, Nigeria will honor all its obligations to climate change and the quest for clean energy. In his remarks, the United States Assistant Secretary of State, Bureau of Energy Resources, Ambassador Jeffrey Pate, praised the economic initiatives taken by President Tinubu with respect to fuel subsidy. He said he was in the country partly to inform the president that President Joe Biden was in his support of the steps taken so far by Nigeria to reduce the impact of fossil fuel. The patriotic and concerned members of the All Progressive Congress (APC) has urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to set up a presidential task force that will protect his administration against sabotage. The chairman of the organization, Malam Anjuma Muhammad, made the call yesterday in Abuja at a media briefing on the state of the nation. He said it was important for the administration to protect its policies, programs, and projects to avoid the downsides that led to the failure of previous democratic government in the last 24 years. As so recommended the pioneer APC National Chairman, Chief Bisi Akande, the Chief of Staff to the President Femi Gbajabiamila, former EFCC Chairman Malam Nuhu Ribadu, and the Special Advisor to the President on Special Duties, Communication and Strategy, Dele Alake, members of the task force. Others recommended are former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai, former Jigawa Governor Muhammad Badar Abubakar, James Falake, Dr. Ene Lilian Ubole, Festus Keyamo, SAN, Adams Oshomole, and Bayo Onanunaga. The United Nations Children Fund UNICEF says that Nigeria has the highest rate of open defecation in the world. UNICEF Chief of Water, Sanitation and Hygiene, Wash Jane Bevan, made the disclosure during a two-day media dialogue on open defecation organized by UNICEF in collaboration with the Child Rights Information Bureau of the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture in Biu, Borno State. Represented by UNICEF, Chisom Adimora, she said Nigeria has been among the top 5 open defecators in the world for the past 15 years, moving from 5th place in 2003, 2nd place in 2015, and now 1st place in 2023, with the eradication of open defecation in India in 2019. Chisom Adimora said there were 47 million open defecators in world 20 million in Ethiopia, 17 million in Indonesia, 16 million in Pakistan, and 16 million in Nigeria. Chisom Adimora, there is a need to strengthen and scale up proven strategies to reach the country's goals of eradication of open defecation. Kebbi State government has said security measures are being put in place for the students to resume academic activities 2 years after bandit attack on the Federal Government College FGC Birnin Yauri. This is coming as a response to the call by the Emir of Yauri, Dr. Zayan Abdullahi, for government to put necessary security measures in place for the takeoff of academic activities in the school. The Emir, during his visit to the Kebbi State Governor Nasser Idris at the government house in Birnin Kebbi, advised government to reinforce the school with more security personnel and block all the ways that were known by security operatives as ways through which the bandits used to attack the school. He said government had put all necessary security measures in place before the resumption of students for academic activities to calm fears of parents that might not want their children. Welcome back. The Kaduna State Pilgrims Welfare Agency has so far airlifted 4,315 intended pilgrims for the 2023 Hajj exercise in Saudi Arabia, out of the 6,487 pilgrims from the state. This leaves a total of 2,172 yet to be airlifted as one of the time of filing this report. The pilgrims comprise of 1,458 females, 2,767 males, and 96 officials were airlifted to Medina and Jeddah in 11 flights, where they will begin their spiritual journey with visitations to various historic Islamic sites in the area. A cross-section of pilgrims expressed satisfaction with the treatment had received thus far. Kano State Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf has appointed his nephew Ahmad A. Yusuf to head the State History and Culture Bureau as Executive Secretary. Ahmad Yusuf is the governor's nephew, who he regards as his eldest son, brought up under the care of the now fourth family and bearing his name since childhood. In a statement signed by his Chief Press Secretary Sanusi Bature Dawakin Tofa, Abba Kabir Yusuf announced the new appointment, which takes immediate effect. The governor of Kano State, Abba Kabir Yusuf, has approved the appointment of Architect Ahmad A. Yusuf as Executive Secretary, Kano State History and Culture Bureau Engineer Ado Jibrin Kankarofi, Deputy Managing Director, Kano State Road Maintenance Agency Karma, and Hawa Muhammad Special Assistant Women Affairs. All appointments are with immediate effect. Recalling that the governor had, while receiving his certificate of return from the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), assured that he will not involve his family in running the affairs of the state. Residents of communities in Dala local government area of Kano State are living in fear over the incessant attack by hoodlums in the area for over 6 days. Member of the Kano State House of Assembly representing the communities, Lawan Hosseini Dala, disclosed this after presenting a motion during yesterday's plenary at the House. He said the affected communities were currently going through a lot of difficulties as the thugs were coming in large numbers every day to always cut away their belongings, destroy properties, and stab people. The lawmaker, who is also the majority leader of the House, said the motion was to draw the attention of the government to direct the State Commissioner of Police to deploy personnel and address the situation. He listed the affected areas to include Dala, Madigawa, Yelwa, Rijiabu, Adakawa, and Dogon Nama communities, adding that some of the residents have started fleeing the areas to other places. The motion was seconded by the Deputy Speaker of the House, Bello Butubutu, who said the worst security situation of the state should be looked into and address the matter. The House later approved the motion and adjourned its sitting to Tuesday, 20th July 2023. Ugandan police said they have arrested 20 people suspected of collaborating with Islamist militants believed to have attacked a school last Friday. The teacher and school's director are among the detained. 42 people, mostly students, were killed at Lubiriha Secondary School in Bontwe in western Uganda. Many were burned to death in their dormitory. The Ugandan army is still hunting Allied Democratic Forces (ADF) militants who have reportedly moved back over the border into Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, where they are based. The Somali government has sacked the head of the country's army. Brigadier General Odawa Yusuf Rage has been replaced by Ibrahim Sheikh Muhyiddin Ado. It comes as the government prepares a new offensive against Islamist militant group Al-Shabaab. Earlier this month, they attacked a beachside hotel in the capital Mogadishu, killing 9 civilians. And in southern Somalia, more than 20 children were killed by mortar shells, which exploded while they were playing. Al-Shabaab was blamed for their deaths. This is the end of the news, but before I go, recap of the major story. You heard President Bola Ahmed Tinubu promised to give priority attention to health and safety of Nigerians. Kano State Governor appointed his nephew as Executive Secretary of the State History and Culture Bureau. Somali government sacks head of army. On behalf of the head of news department, Salamutunu Liman, our editor Haruna Ahmad Ultoa, our continuity announcer Halim Hassan Ibrahim, our online editor Umar Muhammad, I am Khadija Nulamin Liman saying good afternoon.